Morning. It's good to see people coming in. So we're going to have an hour-long flow this morning. Usually on Saturday mornings, I know people like to get moving and sweating. So if that's you today, great. And if that's not you today, you know your practice and you know that you can take it down a bit. So good morning, everyone. So please do the thing that you need, but I will give every opportunity to you to get moving. But please honor your own practice, honor your own energy level, honor your body and your injuries and all of that good stuff. Oh, hi, everyone. Hi, Kathy. Oh, so good to see everybody coming in. Okay, so we're going to get started. Come down onto your backs. I want to take the first couple moments of class in stillness and silence, giving us the opportunity to land on our mats. So if you'd rather be in a seated position for centering, that's fine. Otherwise, you can come down onto your back with the soles of your feet on the ground, with your knees facing the ceiling, palms facing up to receive the energy that we're generating this morning, nose facing the sky. And relax your shoulder blades down into the earth. Relax your jaw and your hips. Feel the weight of your body being completely and absolutely supported. And we have this next hour to move and to breathe and to let go of any tightness or tension or gripping that we're holding on to. So let's give ourselves permission to land here. Start to deepen your breath. Allow each exhalation to be an opportunity to let go. Bring one hand to your heart, the other hand just above your belly button, your elbows resting on the earth. Set your intention for your practice if you have one this morning. Seal it in with a shared breath in community, in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, let it go. Let's do that again. Big deep breath in through the nose. And then let a breath go. Let's start to stretch out long on our mat. Fingertips to the top of the mat, toes to the bottom of the mat, becoming the longest version of yourself that you can. And then we'll make a banana shape, walking both feet to the bottom left corner of the mat. You can cross your right ankle over your left ankle, and then both arms to the top left corner of the mat, holding onto your right wrist with your left hand. So see if you can rotate both hips and both shoulders to touch the earth, encouraging a stretch through your right side body, lengthening through the ribs, the entire side of your body. And then let's take that banana shape in the other direction. Switching the grip and switching the cross of your ankle. Coming back to a neutral spine, pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, taking your hands to your shins. And then keep the right knee tucked in as you drop the left foot down to the ground, knee bent. And roll the right ankle around, point and flex the foot, wiggle the toes. And then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. We'll come to a figure four. Of course, you can leave your left foot on the ground, or you can start to draw it in towards you. And draw it into the point where you feel some sensation in the outer right hip, but no pain. And when we say breathe into a certain part of your body in yoga, breathe into your hip, it really means to increase your awareness to the sensation that you're having in that area. So bring your attention and awareness to the places where you're feeling something. Start to float the left foot down to the ground. Take the right foot and extend it long on the mat, heel to the mat, and pull the left knee in, interlacing your fingers at your shin, and roll your left ankle around this time. Point and flex. Wiggle your toes. And then bend the right knee, plant the foot, and find your version of figure four. If you don't feel much here and you'd like to intensify, you can pull the knee in. You can also take your left hand and push your left knee away from your body, making more of a figure four shape with your legs. Foot comes back down, step the feet out wide to the edge of your mat, and let the knees tick-tock from one side to the other side, a couple times in each direction. And then next time you find yourself coming towards the left, we're going to roll onto our left side, little fetal position, seedling pose. So pulling your knees in towards your chest, take your palms out in front of you and touch your palms together. As you inhale, take your right arm up and over your head and drop your right shoulder down to the earth. And as you exhale, close your clamshell. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, open, chest faces the sky. Exhale to close. And on this next one, we're going to hold our twist. See if you can melt the right shoulder down. Rotate the breastbone towards the ceiling. And relax through the center of your body. Close your palms back together. Roll onto your back. Take your shins into your hands and rock side to side. Kind of a modified happy baby. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you'll roll onto your right side, palms together, coming into that little fetal position. And then next time you inhale, you're going to open the left arm up and over. Big exhale to bring the palms back together to touch. Let's do that again. Inhale to open. Exhale to touch. This time we're going to hold the open twist. And then palms together, coming back into your seedling shape. Roll onto your back again. Take the knees in again, rock back and forth. And then slide your hands behind your thighs. We're going to rock all the way up to a seated position, legs crossed, ankles crossed. Sit up tall. Feel free to bring a blanket under your hips if that helps you to extend your spine. Take your shoulders up and back away from your ears a few times. And then drop your chin to your chest, interlace your fingers behind your head. Let your elbows drop down towards your lap, lengthening through the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Back to a neutral spine. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Roll the chin to the chest. Right ear, right shoulder. You can go as slow as you need to, whatever feels nice for you here. And then we will eventually bring our head back to a neutral spot and roll over onto hands and knees to find table pose. As soon as you come into table, start finding your cat-cows, dropping the belly down as you inhale and look up, and then exhaling to round the spine, looking behind you. So find your breath, your movement. I'm giving you suggestions here, but what I'm doing might not necessarily be what you need. So find the depth and intensity that your body's craving this morning. And we're going to meet in child's pose, one of my favorite poses. Bringing the toes together, knees apart. Send the hips down. And remember, child's pose is always available to you anytime you'd like it during today's practice. Bring your forehead to the mat. Take 5 or 6 breaths here. Come back up onto hands and knees. We're going to step one foot, then the other foot out to a plank pose. You can always drop your knees to the mat for supported plank. It's the same thing. It just gives you a little bit more support. But we're engaging through the belly. We're drawing the shoulder blades away from one another. We're finding both effort and ease in this pose. So you can have a conversation, you can breathe, but it's still not easy. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, send your hips to the sky for down dog. Don't move your hands or your feet. Let's do a few more of those. Slow, with control. Come forward, plank. Exhale, down dog. Do that twice more. Plank. And downward facing dog. This time we'll walk our dog, pedaling our feet out a little bit. Swaying the hips. Bending one knee at a time. Maybe shaking the head out. And then find your down dog shape. Drop the heels down. Lift the tail. Let your head hang. And we'll start tiptoeing our feet to the top of the mat. We'll come into our first forward fold, Uttanasana. You can bend into your knees as much as you need to, and then take ragdoll, opposite elbows, rest in opposite hands. Head hangs heavy, you can sway back and forth here. Shifting the weight from side to side. From front to back, maybe. And then drop your hands to the earth. Bend your knees. We're going to roll up slowly. We're going to come to Tadasana, mountain pose. Bringing your hands to your heart. Shift your weight back and forth a little bit until you find balance. Balance in your body between both sides. And then we're going to wake up with a few sun breaths. So as you inhale, reach for the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, soft knees. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale to fold. Do that again. Lift up, get tall, get long. Fold as you empty your lungs. Lengthen halfway, flat back. Fold as you exhale. One more time. Big breath in. Full breath out. Come up halfway and fold. Let's step one foot, then the other foot back to our high plank pose, top of a push-up. At this point, decide if you'd like to take a vinyasa or come straight to down dog. So you can lower down, and then find your back bend, and then roll over your toes, meeting in downward facing dog. Take a look at the top of the mat, little bend in the knees, step to the top of the mat, one foot at a time, lengthen halfway, and fold. Let's do that again. One breath, one movement, coming up, coming down. Lengthening halfway to prepare, folding on the exhalation, make your way to down dog. Gaze to the top of the mat, feet to hands. It might be a hop, it might be several steps. Lengthening halfway and fold. Let's do it again. Come all the way up, big breath in, all the way down, soft knees. Lengthen halfway. Exhale, just fold and find your flow. I'll take half chaturanga here. You can drop your knees down, lower down, all the way onto the belly. Find a little baby cobra, and then come to down dog. Couple breaths here. Gaze to the top of the mat, feet to hands. Lengthen halfway. Just fold here. Let's find our chair pose, fierce pose. Send the hips down and back. Weight in your heels. Take the arm variation that you like. So you could be reaching out in front of you, hands to heart center, cactus arms. Again, finding the work here, but also finding the breath. Next time you inhale, straighten your knees, reach your hands high to the sky. And as you exhale, sink back to that chair pose, maybe coming a little lower if it feels okay in your knees. Next time you inhale, come back up, reach up high. Exhale, find your chair pose. Let's do that one more time. Come up with control. Press your feet into the mat. And then find your chair pose. From here, bring your hands to your heart. Keep your chair legs. We're going to lift the left foot and step back to warrior one. So place the foot with control. Warrior one. Reach up. Take a moment to settle in. Bring your hands to your heart. Straighten your front knee. Step the back foot in a little way. Pyramid pose. Reach up. Then as you exhale, start to come forward, 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 and then hinge and fold. Drop your head. You can bring blocks or books under your hand here. And swivel your left hip forward, right hip back. Option to come into revolve triangle here. I'm going to grab a block. I like to use a block in this pose. So you're going to bring the left hand to the inside of your right foot. I'm getting hot doing my own class. And then you can take the right hand to the right hip and peel up, finding a revolve triangle. The breath never stops. You never stop that connection. And then bring the hand back down. We're going to come into our standing splits, peel the back leg up. And then working on balance here. Keep your hips square. And if you'd like to take the right hand behind the right ankle, you can do that. Maybe the left hand does the same. And then we'll step it back very gently. Warrior one, come back to your warrior one. Rise up on the inhalation. This time we're going to take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, open the heart, lift the chest, and then come to your humble warrior. Drop your shoulder down. Send your gaze to your left foot and breathe. Come back up to your warrior one, big breath in. And then next time you exhale, you're going to come right down to frame your front foot. Step back to plank and hold your plank. We're going to take the left hand under the nose and find side plank, Vashisthasana. You can drop the bottom knee if you want to, or you can leave it lifted. Show you both. You can also take the top hand and reach up and over your head, finding length through your side body. We'll make our way back to plank. And then back to down dog. You can take a flow here if you want to, or come straight to downward facing dog. So take a few breaths here. You can also rest in child's if you prefer. And then start to look to the top of the mat. We're going to make our way back to the top of the mat, forward fold. This time take your toe hold if you have it in your practice. Peace fingers to the big toe, send your elbows in opposite directions. You can bend your knees here a whole bunch. Trying to bring your chest down onto your thighs. Finding a little more length in the back body. And then release your fingers, start to walk your toes together, heels apart. We're going to come back into our fierce pose, our chair pose, sit it down. Find your arm variation and root down through your feet. Those are your roots. Start to slowly straighten your knees, fingertips up high. Exhale, chair pose, sink it down maybe a little lower. Push into your feet, inhale, come to stand. Exhale, find your chair pose. Let's do that one more time. Pushing up slowly, come to stand. And then find your chair pose again. This time we're going to start floating just the right foot up, bring the knee in towards the chest. With control, warrior one, step it back, find your warrior one. Straighten your front knee. We're going to work towards pyramid pose. Step the back foot in a little, square your hips, and then reach up high. Reach forward, lengthen the spine, and then find your fold. You can use blocks or take a different arm variation. Maybe you'd like to grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows behind your back, or even take reverse prayer. And then start thinking about your evolved triangle. Right hand to the inside of the left foot. You can bring your left hand to your left hip to square things off. And then if you want to start to peel the left arm up, you can. Anytime we're twisting, it's lengthening with the breath in and twisting with the breath out. Left hand comes back down, frame the front foot. Find your standing splits. Feel free to keep the blocks nearby so you can bring those under your hands. Working on your balance. If you want to grab a hold of the back of your left ankle with your left hand, you can do that. If you're feeling steady today, maybe the right hand meets it. And then we'll step back and find our warrior one again, reaching up as you inhale. And as you exhale, come down, frame your front foot, find plank pose. Right hand's going to come under your nose for side plank. Same options here. You can maybe take tree leg on this side or drop the knee. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Top hand might come up and over. And then when you're ready, come back through center and we'll rest for a few breaths in child's pose. Let your forehead touch the mat, maybe even roll your forehead on the mat. And we'll make our way back to down dog when you're ready. This time, send your right leg high to the sky from down dog. Option to bend the right knee and roll the right hip over the left. Then come up onto the ball of your left foot, lift the heel, and as you exhale, sink the heel down. Option to flip your dog. If you're new to flipping your dog, you can try it this way. Think about a little weight hanging on your big right toe. Start to let that weight pull you over and look at the floor. The floor is going to catch you. The floor will catch the ball of your foot. Then peel the right arm up, reach behind you and lift the hips. Coming back over to down dog splits. Send your leg high. And then bring your right knee to your nose, round the spine. Let's do that again. Send it up with control. Try not to fling. Right knee to the nose, cheetah pose, round the spine. One more time, send it back. This time we'll step it through. Plant the right palm between the thumbs. Swivel the left leg down. We're looking for warrior 2 here, so press into your feet. Sink into it, gaze over your front fingertips. Bring weight into both feet. Flip both palms and make sure your shoulders are relaxed away from your earlobes. Flip palms back over. And now we'll make stop sign hands, stretching the wrists. Pressing the palms away from you. And then release the wrists. Flip your front palm on the inhalation. Take your peaceful warrior. And then straighten your front knee and peel your right toes from the mat. Come onto your right heel. Reach back. Drop the foot and find triangle. Right fingertips come forward. Left hip comes back. You can take your left arm up, or you can take a half bind, left hand behind your back, pulling your left shoulder away from you. You can also take that bottom hand up and reach forward. Try not to hold your breath. And then release the hand back down, come back up. We're gonna work towards half moon, so balancing pose. You can bend into your front knee and start reaching in front of your right foot. I like to use a block. And then, this is very slippery. Then once you're on the block, start to lift your back leg up. So let yourself wobble. You can also send the arm high to the sky. If you have a bind here, you can bend the left knee and reach back, looking for the left foot with the left hand. This one takes a lot of practice, so take your time. Be kind to yourself. We're going to release and come back to our warrior 2 pose. Gazing over front fingertips. Straighten the front knee, come to 5-pointed star, heels in, toes out, reach up, up, up. And then as you exhale, find your goddess, sink down. Let's do that again. Reach it up. Goddess pose. One more time, full breath in. Finding your goddess, hold it. Take your hands to your thighs, rotate the thighs out. Then as you exhale, drop your left shoulder down towards your right knee. Find that rotation. Inhale, exhale. One more time on each side. Come back to neutral, goddess, straighten the knees. Warrior 2 over the right fingertips. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. And then with control, take your hands around to frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, low lunge. Straighten the front knee, high lunge. Come back to low lunge. One more time, come back to high lunge. This time we're going to come back to low lunge. Look to the top of the mat and step your left foot to meet your right, forward fold. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Find that shoulder stretch here. Let your head hang. You can use a strap. If you have a strap or a belt here, I'll grab my strap. This is a really nice way to open through the shoulders. It feels especially good if you've been crunched in front of your computer at home more than usual. And then release any bind you have, strap to the side if you had one. Make sure your feet are coming right under your hips. Bend your knees, come all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Stepping back to your high plank. Go ahead and take your flow if that's in your practice today. We will meet in down dog. And then from down dog, left foot floats up. Lead with your heel. You can bend the knee and roll the left hip over the right hip. You can stay right here, come onto the ball of the right foot, take a breath in, and as you exhale, drop the right heel down. You're also welcome to play with flipping your dog. You can come onto the knife edge of your right foot and reach back and up for wild thing, or parallel your feet for flip dog. Coming back over, down dog splits, left leg high. Next time you exhale, bring your left knee to your nose, cheetah pose, round your spine. Let's do that again, send it back, cheetah. One more time, send it back. This time we'll step through, warrior two, press into both feet, and come to stand. Take a moment to set up. Flip both palms over, soften the shoulders. Flip them back and find stop sign hands. Release the wrists. Flip the left palm, peaceful warrior, take it back. Straighten the left knee and peel the left toes up. Release the foot, start to reach forward for your triangle. Same options here. You can take the right hand behind your back, finding the half bind, or you can float the left hand up, core supported. And then peel yourself back up, find your warrior two. So we're gonna start setting up for half moon. I'm gonna grab a block. Same thing here, I like to bring the block to the outside edge and up ahead of me, a few inches ahead of me, the outside edge of my pinky toe. Right hand comes to right hip, and you can start rolling open. And if this is a pose you're working on at home, we have a little extra time, some of us do these days, you can do this with a strap around the bottom of your right foot. So with the strap around the bottom of your right foot, you'll have a little bit more control over that bottom leg. Provides a little bit more stability. And you can make sure you're getting the hip in line with the ankle. Or you can do it without. Right? And eventually drop the strap. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back in our warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Let's come to a five-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Do that again. Lift up, big breath in. Exhale, sink it down. Let's do that again. Inhale. Sink it down. Let's hold it. This time, take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Lift your chest. And then straighten the knees. Come to a forward fold. Option to take the fist with you. Option to use your strap again behind your back for that shoulder stretch again. Or if you'd like to, you can grab onto your big toes Sending elbows in opposite directions. There are lots of variations here. So release any binds that you have. Bring your hands under your nose. And this time we'll start walking our hands to frame our left foot. Coming onto the ball of the right foot. Low lunge. Drop the right hip down. As you exhale, straighten the front knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. One more time, low lunge. Look to the top of the mat and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale for your chair, coming back into your chair. We're going to take another twist. This time you'll bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, twist towards the right. So you can hook your elbow or you can open your arms, whatever you prefer. 3 big breaths here. And then come back through center, palms together, reach forward, open arm twist or hooked elbow twist. Come back through center, reach up, and as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, just fold. Let's come back through our high plank. Find your way to down dog however you'd like. It can be a flow, or you can lift your hips. This time, take your right leg nice and high. Take your right knee and touch your right elbow. Hover. Let's do that again. Send it back with control. As you exhale, it's right knee, right elbow to hover. Engage the core here. One more time, send it back. This time it's pigeon pose. Shin comes behind the wrists. Look back, make sure your leg is extended. And then feel free to bring a block or a blanket or a jacket or whatever you need under your right hip if it's floating up. Square your hips. And then if you're ready and you want to, you can come down, forehead, forearms, block, whatever works for you. Start going back up onto your palms. Lift your chest high, and then we'll walk the hands out to the edge of your mat, actually beyond the edge of your mat. Come onto your tips of your fingers. Inhale, lift your chest, make a proud pigeon. Look up. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest and dive down for humble pigeon. Do that again. Inhale to lift, proud pigeon. Exhale, find your humble pigeon. One more time, lift, open your heart, lift your chin, lift your chest, and then dive down. Come back up, bring your hands under your shoulders and roll over onto your right hip. We're going to come all the way onto our back, pull the knees into the chest, take your hands to your knees, and take some circles. Send your knees out in opposite directions and then back towards the middle, and then go the other way. And then sliding your hands behind your thighs, you can cross your ankles and take a few rocks and rolls along the length of your spine. We're going to come back to down dog. So one way to do that is to roll and then take your hands in front of you. And if you have a hop back, you can do that, or step back, you can take a flow. Coming straight to down dog is always another option. From down dog, left heel floats. Exhale, left knee touches left elbow. Do that again, send it back. Knee to elbow, hover it over. One more time, send it back. And then bring shins behind your wrists. Same thing here, take a moment to get set up. No hurry to come down, so extend your back leg. Use props to square your hips. And then when you're ready, exhale into your fold. Start to make your way back up onto your palms. Step your hands out wide and come onto your fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest and the chin. Exhale, dive down, bend the elbows. Inhale to come up. Exhale to dive down. Let's do that one more time. Press up and dive down. This time, press all the way up, roll onto the left hip, swing the right leg out, and come onto your back again, taking those circles through the hips, both directions. And then slide the hands behind the thighs, cross the ankles. We're going to come onto our belly. So go ahead and step or hop back. You can take a flow if you want to. And then coming onto your belly slowly, I'll take half chaturanga, knees down, elbows into the ribs, come all the way down. Make a little pillow with your hands, bring the cheek to the hand pillow, bend the knees, tick-tock the knees back and forth. And then we'll come to our Sphinx pose, so slide your elbows in towards you. Elbows will be a little ahead of your shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Press your forearms down and away from you, like you're trying to pull that mat out from under you with your elbows. And then lift your chest. Sink your shoulders away from your earlobes. As you breathe in, you'll be able to feel your belly pressing in towards the mat. And then make your little pillow again with your hands. Come back down, bend the knees, let the shins windshield wiper back and forth. This time we're going to take our baby cobra pose. So legs are about hip width apart. Bring your hands back by your ribs, elbows poking up, forehead to the mat. As you inhale, lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest. As you exhale, bring the forehead back down to touch the mat. Do that again. Inhale, nice and easy. Exhale, bring it down. One more time. Come back up. This time, if you want to, you can float your palms up off the mat. Maybe lift your chest even a little bit more, squeezing your shoulder blades towards one another. Keep breathing. And then hands come back to the mat. Let's push back into our child's pose. You can have your knees together or your knees apart, lengthening through your back body. Coming back up onto hands and knees, let's find a seated position. If you have a block, I'm going to challenge you to try boat on your block, bringing your block under your hips. If you don't have a block, you can do boat the traditional way, Navasana. You can also use 2 blocks for a little bit more stability. It'll give you a bigger seat. And then once you have the block under your hips, lean back, reach out in front of you. And then once you feel like you've found balance, maybe you add the toes. It's easier with 2 blocks. If you do 1 block, long ways, it's more challenging. I can already feel it. Just be careful that there's nothing behind you because you might go tumbling backwards like that. So give your Navasana a few more breaths. If you want to do it without the block, you can lift 1 toe at a time. You know, there are tons of variations for this pose. We're really focusing on our core muscles that help us stand and walk and sit and everything. So when you're ready, come back through center, take your hands behind your thighs, hold on to one wrist, and then tuck your chin and round your back. Come back to neutral. We're going to take 1 more wide-legged forward fold like we did when we were standing up. Seated this time. So again, bringing a blanket under your hips. If you're finding yourself curling, your spine is curling, blanket will lift your hips up above your knees, and that'll be helpful. And then with a long spine, you can bring a block here just to help you push along. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to hinge at your hips. And when you feel your spine start to come into that C curve, you're going to stop. So some of us might be here and feeling that plenty. So you stay here. You can also walk your legs out a little wider for more sensation. And then as you sit over time with this posture, you might find that you can come lower. Maybe you come onto your forearms. And this is a really nice one to practice that idea of awareness. So where do you feel this the most? Can you bring your attention to that area or those areas and allow them to soften? And then come back up onto your palms. We'll walk both palms over to the left, frame the left foot, rotate your spine, and start to drop your nose in the direction of your knee. Other side, walk your hands through center, frame your right foot with your hands, lengthen your spine, and drop your nose in the direction of your right knee this time. Coming back to neutral, use your hands to bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Butterfly pose, push your heels away from you. Take a wide diamond shape with your legs and then tuck your chin, round your spine, let your head hang heavy. If you have a block, you can use a block. We'll stay here for a few breaths, pushing back through the lumbar spine, the low spine, so you can make some space in the low spine. And then back up, neutral spine. Pull the legs in one more time, soles of the feet to the ground. Let the knees rock from one side to the other side. And we'll end up on our backs. So coming all the way down onto your back, bring your knees in with you and give yourself a little hug here. Coming into a little ball shape, you can rock back and forth. And keeping the knees tucked in, we'll dip both knees over to the left. So stacking one knee over the other, you can use a block here in between the knees or under the knees, or a bolster can be used as well. Right shoulder melts down, coming into a similar supine twist as we did at the beginning of class. And oftentimes it's interesting to notice or compare how you felt in this posture when you started versus now. Same thing on the other side. So take a breath in as you come through center and a breath out as you dip your knees to the right. Use your props as needed. Props are there to help you and support your body. They're definitely a wonderful, helpful tool in our yoga practice. If you don't have props at home, there are many things you can use to modify. Books, blankets, pillows, belts. Back through neutral, happy baby, pulling the knees in, grab the outside edge of the feet or the ankles, and let yourself rock back and forth. See if you can tilt the tailbone down to the ground. And then any last little adjustments you'd like before we come to final rest are welcome here. I say it every time and I'll say it again. We're getting ready to set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana, our most important pose. So I'm finding this format awkward for Shavasana. I feel like if I just sit here, it just feels awkward. So what I've been doing is encouraging people to become very, very comfortable. Shavasana is not about falling asleep, but rather stilling the fluctuations of your mind. So use any props you need to relieve pressure or tightness so that you can be comfortable. And then take a final scan of your body and see where you can let go. The nice thing about being at home and not at the studio is that you can take a longer Shavasana if that's appropriate for you today. So as you get settled in, commit to a Shavasana as long as you need it. And when you rise up, come up with gratitude for our practice and compassion for yourself. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend.